Hey everybody, what's going on? Real quick, congratulations to yesterday's winners. You are entered in the giveaway for the $100 Google Play or iTunes gift card. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can check the card up there. For the video that will give you the details, that you can come back here and enter the giveaway. Also keep in mind that just because you won yesterday doesn't mean you can't win again. You can get as many entries as you're lucky enough to win here, so keep on doing it. Now, we are going to talk about a clan boss team today that Bhelrudan put together. Now, I don't know how long a lot of you have been around, but Bhelrudan's been here for a while, and he is a wizard. He's a madman. He has a spider guide up on Reddit that is really helpful, and he put it out relatively early on when a lot of people were still trying to figure out spider, aside from having the 4 royal guards and all of the things that are commonly used to get through them. He put up a really helpful strategy for people who did not have all those tools. He's very creative. He does a lot of really interesting stuff, and I chat with him a good bit. And he's always working on something, and this is something interesting that I wanted to share with you guys. So he has been nice enough to share his account with me. So I'm gonna hop in and show you guys what he has going on for Clan Boss here. Now understand that this is all, it's good gear. It's going to be a little difficult to obtain. It's not going to be impossible to obtain, but it is not necessarily an early game setup. This is going to require some gear and some champs. Now there are going to be some variations, and we'll talk about these in a later video. I'm going to do follow-up videos on this comp and this type of comp. And we're going to get in and do different things, but I want to show you what he's running, show you how to set it up, why it works, and just talk about what he has going on for now, okay? So he's running Rosin, Nethril, Martyr, Sepulcher, and Skull Crusher. They're all on lifesteal, and you can see they've all got pretty good stats, okay? Now this is a 2-key, usually, to my understanding, occasionally 3-key team, but he sent me a picture this morning of it doing almost 40 million. I'll put that up on the screen now. It can do some work. So let's take a look at the champions real quick. Now we have Rosin again on a lifesteal set. Now we'll look at his total stats so you can get an idea of what we have going on. A pretty good amount of HP, over 4,100, almost 4,200 defense, 184 speed. Now as per usual with these types of things, you want to hit the speeds. You want to match the speeds if you can, okay? There's a small window you can be in, but generally it's just a good idea to match these if you can. Now he's also gearing up for crit rate and crit damage. Again, this is not chump gear. This is gonna be a project for you, okay? But I wanted to share it nevertheless. Now you can see the Masteries here, worked our way down to Giant Slayer, and then this is the tree that he went with here, okay? So if you want to pause and match those up on your Rosin, go for it. But this is what we're looking at here. And again, 184 speed on Rosin. We have Nethril here, who is also on lifesteal. And we'll take a quick peek at his masteries. You can see he's also down to Giant Slayer. And then this is what we have going on over here. I'm not going to go in and talk about each individual mastery. I'm just going to let you guys get a glimpse of them. If you want to pause and match them up, then there you have it. But I'm not going to get too deep into the masteries. I mean, really Giant Slayer because you want him to do damage. And then here we've got debuff extension, accuracy. The pretty traditional stuff over here, right? So again, lifesteal, accuracy. This is what we're looking at now. Not quite as tanky. I mean, an extra 2,900 on someone with 991 base defense is a lot. But I've given the disclaimer at this point. Here we have a Martyr who is at 192 speed, okay? Again, accuracy's up there, crit rate is up there, crit damage, everything is up there pretty high. If you can see we've got lifesteal crit damage because she has good multipliers, she is defense scaling, we want to get some damage out of her. And then if we take a look at her masteries, this is what we have going on. Now we went War Master on her, and then defense tree here. If you want to pause, take a screenshot, match these up, go ahead. This is what we have. I'm going to come back and look at skills in a second as well. Here, we got a little Chicky Poo. Now, she's going to have to be fast for this, okay? 243. 243, again, lots of defense, lots of HP, lots of accuracy. Everything, lots of everything. This is top-notch gear. We've got lifesteal speed on her. okay? And then if you want to take a look at her masteries, again, the standard War Master route, and then match Nethral's over here, accuracy, debuff extension, things of that nature, okay? Skull Crusher, last but certainly not least, 175, HP, defense, accuracy is not important on this guy. Crit rate, crit damage, again, if you can, squeak out the damage. If not, not a huge deal. It's not like this guy's multipliers are through the roof or anything, but with him being defense scaling, there's potential for some damage output. Lifesteal, defense, and masteries, down to War Master. And here's what we got going on with the defense tree, okay? Now, for skill ups. And I'll say this, I want you to look at this because I get a message, at least one a day now, for the Unkillable Clan Boss guide that I did, and people asking me why it doesn't work. And I'll say 95% of the time it's because the skill ups aren't done. So be sure that you're doing skill ups. Now for Martyr, you absolutely got to get her cooldown done, right? You got to get the cooldowns done so that she stays in rotation. And same with Skull Crusher, of course. You got to get his cooldown done. Now if you can get lucky enough to skill him up and have only one go in here, that's great, but usually it's all going to fill up here. But damage out of him, again, if you're trying to squeak every point of damage out, it's not a bad idea to just do it. But if you can do it one at a time and just get the cooldown here, fine. Again, Martyr also has to have the cooldowns. And then she has to have A1 and A2, okay? You want to throw up the attack break, and this has to have the cooldown reduction. Now, if you skill her up before 3-star ascending her, this won't be available to catch books, which means you're a lot more likely to hit this cooldown, and then also max this out. So it'll cost you a lot less books. So if you're on a book budget and you haven't ascended her yet, hold off on it and just skill these up. You do want to get her passive up too because it is nice to have, but it's not mandatory the way that these are, okay? And then for Rosin and Nethral, in this case, the skill ups are not mandatory. However, you do want to get them up. You definitely want to get this one up so that he has the 100% chance to land, so that he's just relying on accuracy. The cooldown is going to be really handy here. And then for Nethral, debuff chance is going to be very helpful as well, okay, for the poisons. So that's what we're working with. Martyr's got to have the cooldowns. Skull Crusher's got to have the cooldowns. She's got to have the cooldowns, and she really needs that A1 skilled up, okay? These two not as important, but you do want him to have this if you can make it happen, okay? So that's a look at all the champions that we're using. That's a look at their setup. Again, I understand that it's difficult. This is not meant to be necessarily a free-to-play team or an early game team. I just want to share it with you because I think it's interesting, and I know that some of you out there are going to have this stuff available. And again, we're going to follow up in the future and make adjustments to this and do variations of it. And also, my window's open because it's hot in here, and I live in New York City. Nothing I can do about the background noise. All right, let's go ahead and get to a clan boss run. Now, we are on Magic Affinity, and generally when you're on any affinity, there are potential problems with the run. It's better if you can hit it on Void, but this should work regardless. So we're going to jump right in and get to the setup before we can hit auto. Now, Sentinel, we're going to start off with A1, and then Martyr, we're going to use A2. Clan boss is going to hit us. Now Rosin, I've got my notes over here that I'm checking. We're gonna of course get our counter attacks. Now we've got Rosin A1. We've got Nethral A1. We've got Skull Crusher A2. Sentinel A1. And Martyr A1. Clan boss is going to hit again. Everybody's going to counterattack. New York City's going to do New York City things outside. We're back. Rosin is going to A1. Sentinel is going to A2. Nethril is going to A1, of course. What else would you want him to do? Skull Crusher's going to A1, and Martyr's going to A1. Now the CB is going to go for the stun and miss because we have block debuffs up, right? Sentinel A1, Horizon's going to A2, Nethril's going to A1, Skull Crusher A1, Martyr A2, and Sentinel A1. Everybody's going to do their thing. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Don't you dare give us a ×3. Rosin A1, Nethril A1, Skull Crusher A2, Sentinel A1, and Martyr A1. Just so everybody knows, I didn't do a test run. We're running through this the first time together, so we're fingers crossed that everything goes as planned. Okay. Now we've got Rosin A1, Sentinel A1, Nethril A1, Skull Crusher A1, Martyr A1. Now Martyr's going to eat the stun here. Okay, we have Martyr in the lead for the defense buff. That means she's going to be the one eating stun, right? That's okay. That's okay. After Martyr eats the stun, we've got a Rosin A2 that he's going to miss. We've got a Sentinel A1. We've got a Nethril A1. And we've got a Skull Crusher A1. Martyr is stunned. So now we take a hit. Not a big deal, right? This team can take a hit. Sentinel A1. Rosin A1, Nethril A1, Skull Crusher A2, Martyr A1, and then Sentinel A2. CB's gonna AOES one more time. Everybody's gonna counter. We're gonna have, this is our last turn before we can hit auto, okay? Rosin A1, and everybody's just going to A1, and then we're going to be able to hit auto and let it ride, okay? And now we hit auto. And now we're going to let them roll and see what kind of damage we get out of them. Now it is on Magic Affinity, which means Nethril and Martyr are at a disadvantage here. So Nethril probably will not be landing as many poisons, but that'll be okay. Hopefully we can keep the attack break up. Hopefully Nethril can sneak in some poisons. And like I said, everybody's got masteries. Everybody's got good damage output. They've got high the defense that scales high that they scale off of. A few of them have good crit rate and really good crit damage. And that's where that comes into play. Now, the crit rate and crit damage doesn't have to happen necessarily, okay? If you want to get this in place without that and see what you can do with this team, that's a good place to start. And if you're able to 3-key it that way, great. If you're able to 2-key it that way, even better. But that'll give you a starting point, and then over time you can look to swap in pieces that leave the speed where it needs to be, and up the crit rate, crit damage, up the damage potential, because it gets to a point, especially when you're trying to 2-key, where every little bit will matter over a long period of time, right? So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to let this run now, and because they seem to be good on auto. Again, a little bit of a setup, but then you can hit auto and let them do their thing. So I'm going to let them do their thing. We will pop back in at the end of the run, check out everybody's damage, see what the total damage was, and go from there. So I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, guys, we just finished this key up, 27 million. It lasted about 10 minutes. Now, if you remember the picture I showed you earlier, I'll show you again. It was about I think almost 18 minutes, 17, 18 minute run, and it was about 40 million. This is with him manualing the team. So this is a 3-key auto. I'm very partial to auto. I do not want to sit in manual. So if I have a good 3-key auto team, I'm going to run with it. And this seems reliable. Again, this team comes in with a Poisoner and Martyr who's going to output damage, comes in with them at disadvantage, and it's still an easy 3-key. Nethril did not land the poisons he would ordinarily land or get the damage output that he ordinarily would, and Martyr did not get the damage output she ordinarily would, and still a very easy 3-key. So if you can catch it on Void or maybe on Force where these guys are neutral and they have an advantage, those two situations I think would give you an upper hand and probably pump up more damage, and maybe on a really good run give you potential to 2-key rather than 3-key. So either way, here you have it. You've seen their setups, you've seen their masteries. Again, I will be doing follow-up videos to this comp with substitutions. I will be doing videos on different comps. Like I said, we're going to dig in. I'm going to get with a few different people and do some experimenting of my own and get as many different examples of Clan Boss teams out for you guys that are at least 3-keying. I want to get everybody to a 3-key at least. So we're going to be doing variations. So if this one didn't specifically do anything for you, just give me time. I'm going to try to get some stuff out that's going to get to everybody with some of the Battle Pass rares, you know, the new Poison Sensitivity and Poison Chick. I want to do some things with them. So we have some stuff getting worked out for you. Just bear with me while I get it all done. I appreciate you guys watching. I do hope this was helpful. If you aren't in the giveaway yet and it's still going, then thank you for the follow. Getting follows while we're recording YouTube videos. That's awesome. What was I saying? Thank you for watching. Hope it helped. Get in the giveaway if you're not already. Yeah, I forgot everything. Thank you for watching. See you guys later.